There are tons of abandoned homes and buildings worldwide with magnificent remains that would leave you with an air of wondering astonishment. From the 2-foot safe stashed with cash to the bottles of whiskey from the Prohibition era hidden in the floorboards and walls, here are the 10 most incredible things found in abandoned mansions. Now, let's get started with our number 10. Body in a casket, United States. I'll eat my shoes if this doesn't send shivers up your spine. A casket underneath a mansion? For what exactly? Well, we are as confused. Construction staff working on a San Francisco property in 2016 were stunned to find a coffin. Further research into the details of the spooky scene revealed a body of a 2-year-old girl named Edith Howard Cook who had died from Erasmus disease just 6 weeks before her 3rd birthday. Edith's body was beautifully dressed in a white christening gown and ankle with purple blossom flowers woven into her blonde hair before being preserved within the coffin. DNA analysis revealed her father was a renowned businessman and her grandfather was a member of the Society of California Pioneers. Number 9. Painting Payoff, France. Imagine stumbling upon a $2.5 million worth original painting by Giovanni Baldini. How would you feel? Somewhere in France, a 91-year-old known as Marta de Florian had abandoned her apartment before World War II. The beautiful painting was the creative work of Giovanni Baldini, a renowned Italian portrait painter, and it included a handwritten note from Baldini. Awesome! De Florian had willed the apartment and painting to the granddaughter, but she fled to the southern part of France at the peak of the war when the Nazis invaded France and never returned to check on the property. After the granddaughter died in 2010, the family called experts to come in and inventory the possessions. The painting eventually fetched $2.5 million at auction. Number 8. Gold bars, France. A couple had purchased a property in Rouen in 2002. 7 years later, they found 6 gold bars in the garden and discovered another 22 in 2013. Guess what? They declared their findings to the mayor's office and alerted the police, but the latest homeowners probably wish they had never found these gold bars in the first place. Yeah, they did everything right to claim the gold bars, but they faulted by selling 23 of the 28 pieces of the treasure, estimated at 800,000 euros. The previous homeowners later showed up for their property only to find that the couple had sold most of the gold. They sued the couple for damages and compensation, and the court ruled that the previous homeowners had provided sufficient proof to claim ownership. The couple was asked to return the gold bars they hadn't sold and the money from the sale. Number 7. Terrifying tiger, United States. You probably need to rethink if you think there are only gold bars and nostalgia treasures in abandoned mansions. Somewhere in Houston, a resident entered an abandoned home to smoke. Guess what happened? The alleged found a giant tiger gazing from the cage in the home's garage and immediately called the police. The authority arrived and facilitated moving the tiger to an animal sanctuary. It would have been interesting to learn if the caller still finished smoking the pot or was stunned to the bone marrow. What would you do in this situation? Number 6. Pablo Escobar safe, United States. Do people buy abandoned mansions in the hope of discovering some hidden treasures? Chicken Kitchen founder Christian de Boudoir got more than he bargained for when he started tearing down a Miami Beach mansion previously owned by Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar. Discovered in the mansion was a locked large 2x2 safe that weighed up to 700 pounds, and because the safe was locked, no one could tell of the content. Later, it was reported that the safe was stashed with cash. For the record, Pablo was a drug kingpin who accumulated so much wealth that he couldn't manage. Thus, he started hiding monies in the walls and secret compartments of his home. U.S. authorities later seized his Miami property in 1987, and attorney Roger Schindler purchased it from the government in 1990 before Christian de Boudoir took over ownership in 2014. Number 5. Prohibition-era whiskey, United States. Just when the COVID-19 pandemic was biting hard in 2020, and people were advised to sit at home to avoid the spread of the disease, a New York couple found bottles of whiskey from the Prohibition era hidden in the floorboards and walls of their home. That's enough to induce more talks all day. The property was built in 1915. The couple had been living in the home for months before deciding to renovate it. Several packages began raining down as they pulled the bottom of the mudroom and the walls, including cartons containing different whiskey brands. Number 4. Belgian Bonanza, France. Incredible things from the early 20th century and 19th century are beautiful, but try going back a few more years, like 1,000 to 2,000 years ago. That's enchantment. Workers demolishing an abandoned house in France couldn't contain their joy when they found 600 gold coins in the cellar after dismantling a shell-shaped container. The coins were Belgian and dated 1870. This was easy to fathom since King Leopold II had his face on them. We later learned that the coins could be worth up to 100,000 euros. Number 3. Bugatti left in garage, England. The family of Dr. Harold Carr was surprised to find the 1937 Bugatti Type 57S amid piles of medical machinery after sorting through the orthopedic surgeon's possessions following his death in 2007. Dr. Harold Carr was an orthopedic surgeon who served as an army doctor during World War II. He bought the supercar in 1955 for £895. He drove it for the first few years, then parked it in his garage, where it remained for nearly 50 years until his death. A European collector had bought the vehicle at Bonham's Retro Mobile Car Show and Sale in Paris for £3,043,293. Other incredible things in his detached home were files piled at 6 feet high, 1,500 beer steins, a World War II spy drone, and receipts for pencils bought in the 1950s. Number 2. Treasure Trove of Rare Coins, United States. In 2007, Jeff Beetleman of Rare Collectibles in Richland County knocked down a wall in an abandoned mansion and nearly got showered with gold coins. The home had been unoccupied for 20 years since the owner died. There were rumors that the last occupant had stashed money into the walls, but it sounded more like a fairy tale. It later became one of those few instances when rumors were worth spreading when the former family's daughter called Jeff Beetleman to visit the house to look for collectibles. So he did just that. Jeff Beetleman discovered around $100,000 to $200,000 worth of old coins in a hole in the wall that dates from 1826 to 1964. The haul included seated Liberty dimes and large cent coins. Number 1. Darn Valuable Doorstop, Scotland. How do you wrap your head around a bust that winds up as a doorstop? It's tough, but that's what happened in Baltimore, Scotland. The bust, used as a doorstop in an abandoned home, was made by French sculptor Edmé Bouchardon and dated back to 1728. Further investigation revealed that it was a bust of politician Sir John Gordon and was thought to be worth $1.8 million. After seeing how many goodies are tucked away in abandoned properties, I almost wish my family owned an old abandoned mansion to explore. Wow, these are incredible things found in abandoned mansions. What's the most interesting thing you've found while exploring an abandoned building? Let us know in the comments section below, and also, don't forget to check out our other unique content popping out right now on the left and right side of your screen. See ya!